Hey guys, I know it's been a while, and sorry for that. Hope your guys' New Year's is starting off well, and everything that you set out as far as New Year's resolutions, you're sticking to it. I'm probably slacking a little bit in regards to those resolutions, so this was actually one of the resolutions that I wanted to start back doing again was making videos. I apologize for being away for so long. I think I kind of lost my way as far as being a little distracted with life in general, and at the time I was dating somebody and that didn't really work out, which is fine. It happens. But I believe it taught me something about myself and what I wanted and what I didn't want. I think sometimes when it comes to dating, we kind of tend to try to hold on to that relationship even if we feel internally that it's not maybe the best choice. We just get so accustomed to not really wanting to be alone, and I've been single for quite some time, probably since my coming out, and which is fine. It's just it's been a lot of soul searching and getting to know myself, and I think with this situation I started to feel a little towards the end like I was losing who I was, and it started to take a toll on pretty much on myself. I started to notice a lot. I stopped doing my videos, of course, and just the normal stuff that I was usually doing on a day-to-day basis or even on the weekends, and I felt like in a way like when I was with that person that I was pretty much placed in a box. And the times we were together, there was like bittersweet moments, but then there were those times where I felt like, for a perfect example, like you would be sitting in a car and I would be thinking in my mind like, I wonder what this person's thinking, and I would be thinking like pretty much like it felt like I wanted to pretty much get out of control, and felt like I was so pretty much not really being me. And that started to take a toll on myself. I started to notice that the little things that I wanted from a relationship and the little things that he was doing that I didn't really care for, and just little comments and stuff that he would make and stuff like that, and I felt like he was so closed off to the point to where I was trying, I think, my hardest to kind of hold on to him. And all I have to say is, when it comes to dating, don't ever feel like you have to settle for less. That's something that I've always known. I don't know why I was holding on to him as long, and I guess it could have been out of loneliness and being single for so long, which is fine. But I think sometimes when you just get caught up in the moment, you lose sight of pretty much those things. And I would have a conversation like with my dad, and he would ask me how things are going, and I was like, yeah, I guess they're okay. And when I like somebody, I pretty much invest a lot of time in this person, and I believe I show that. And I try not to be too overbearing because I'm a very outspoken person, for one, and my personality is pretty strong. I'm confident in who I am. I'm not, everybody has their little flaws here and there as far as insecurities, and I felt like with him, because I'd started this workout thing, I started to feel like sometimes our conversation flow would be so dull. Like it was just like, like, how was your day? Good. What did you do today? Went to work. How was work? Just, the basic, like, normal thing. But it wasn't like the chemistry flow. It wasn't like when you're just like, it's like you can talk and talk for hours. And there was those times where you could, but then there was times where it's like there was always just this wall. And I started to feel exhausted with trying to pretty much bring things out of him and pretty much get to know him. And I would always sometimes say too as well, like, oh my gosh, you're such a mystery, it's hard to get to know you. I feel like sometimes, you know, you're just a mystery. And he would kind of joke about that and say, yeah, it's going to take a while for you to get to know me. And I don't know if whatever went on with him, you know, in his past, maybe growing up. And I know he said it had a lot to do with his family were the same way with him. And I get that. I guess sometimes, like, you know, as people, we tend to think, like, why are they this way when I'm this way? Especially considering everything that I went through. Like, I've been through so much in my life. But my dad made a good point. Like, I've dealt with a lot of it, too. And these past couple years, like, I've changed so much. And there are still things I want to work on in my life. And it's not a bad thing. Like, you know, all I have to say is be true to yourself. And I know that's something I hold on to, like saying a lot of my videos, be true to yourself. Like, don't let somebody feel like they have to change or you have to change for that person. Sometimes when you change, it should be always for you, especially when it's something that you want to really change. It should never have to be something where you feel like you're forced to do something, or you're forced to kind of be in a box where you can't be yourself and you can't be goofy and like stuff like that. Because I'm a people person. Like, I tend to, you know, voice impersonate and just different things about me. And with him, I felt like I couldn't really do that. I felt like I couldn't be me. I felt like there was times where he would question, like, if I worked out and stuff like that. And I kind of just feel like, okay, is that something I have to do because you work out so much? And that kind of made me a little insecure because, you know, I lost 20 pounds and did all this stuff and felt great about myself. And there's one thing that I've learned after losing that weight. Sometimes when it comes to weight loss or it comes to whatever, it doesn't matter how much weight you lose. Your confidence comes from the love you feel for yourself. And that's one thing you have to first and foremost always do, is love yourself first and know who you are and feel comfortable in your own skin. And then you know for sure, okay, I'm ready to start dating. I can do this. Because then you know more or less the things you deserve and things that you don't deserve. And that was something that I learned and I took out of this experience. And always, always, always just be you. Because only you know you as well as you do, and no one else can tell you otherwise. And I hope all of you are not in a situation where you feel like you have to be stuck in that situation. If you're in a situation where you feel like you're being mistreated and you're not appreciated and your feelings are not valid, I strongly encourage you to get out of that situation, because it's totally not worth it. You deserve so much better than that. And you're loved. You know, you have your family, you have your support, which I hope that's the case. In my case, I have that support system, and I appreciate so much the people I have in my life, and I love them dearly. And I encourage you to associate yourself with positive people and not allow yourself to be associated with the negative people. Sometimes people give you like the horrible advice. Always go with your intuition, because you know 100% what you deserve and what you don't, and what you should go with. And sometimes we tend to take others' advice without listening to our inner selves and going off of that. And that's something I just want to encourage you this year. Be true to yourself. Stick to your New Year's, you know, resolution goals as much as possible. There's times we tend to, you know, actually do them and not. And I encourage you to keep up with that and stay positive and just love yourself. Hope all is well. Look forward to making another video pretty soon. And yeah. Well, until next time. Later, guys. Have a good one. Bye now.